Hi, the sun is shining on my back and on the side of my face in the nicest possible way. I wish I could share that with you. The warmth of the sun is so special. I hope you're ready for a very chill but long video. I just made myself some black tea with milk, and I want to encourage you to do the same, to grab some nice drink or a snack and have this video watching time with me. It's another long one. I don't know how this keeps happening, honestly. Every week I'm like, this week my workload is definitely too high to do like a build, like a big type of build that's gonna take me 15 hours, including the video and stuff, and then I just go ahead and do it anyways, which is also why this week's video is out a day later than it was supposed to be. But I still had a great week. There were some very exciting things that I got to do work-wise, and yeah, although I'm a little overworked, it's also very satisfying to have done those really cool things. And then also, 3 months ago, I have ordered a piece of furniture, which was supposed to take 4 to 6 weeks to arrive, and it arrived yesterday. So 3 months later than expected, and it was obviously hella annoying in the meantime because all my stuff, it's a storage option, and all my stuff was lying on the floor because after about 4 weeks I had sold my old storage place. So I'm also really glad that that finally arrived, and I got to construct it, assemble it, and it looks really good. So I really hope you had a great week as well, and that you are as excited as I am to now get this video watching time with friends. At least that's what it feels like to me. Okay, so let me tell you about this build. I wanted to do another townhouse because a townhouse is really the only type of house that I could see myself permanently live in. Apart from that, I can only see myself living in apartments because that's something I've done all my life, and I desperately need a city around me. And if I can, then I want to be in the city center. And I'd love to have all the space that a whole townhouse offers in comparison to a simple apartment. But yeah, both would be viable if you ask me. So I've done another townhouse, and you've all seemed to really love the townhouses that I've done so far. And this one is really bright, and it has 2 kids' rooms. So it has 3 bedrooms in total, which really is a lot for me. And I was really happy to do a few kids' rooms again because I feel like they haven't gotten as much love from me as they could have. And I really wanted to build something cozy and bright that just felt like a nice Sunday afternoon. A Sunday afternoon in house form. And I'm really happy with this build. Usually I'm not very inspired to do kids' rooms. I don't see a lot of kids' rooms in my life, and I wish there was some more custom content by Harry and Felix for kids' rooms. I hope there's something coming in the future. I love Tiny Travelers. It's such a good pack. But I would love to get some new inspiration just from items themselves, because I feel like inspiration for kids' rooms doesn't come as easily to me as it does for any other type of room that you might have in a house. And I'm still surprised at how different these kids' rooms look. I'm not sure if you'll agree with me, but I do think that they don't really look like any kids' rooms I've done before on this channel, or anywhere else while we're at it. Actually, what inspired me to do this build the most was this wallpaper. It's from Harry's Brownstone collection, and it is the lightest swatch, I'm pretty sure. And I just love how it looks. If I'm not mistaken, it uses that one metallic looking wallpaper from Eco Lifestyle as a base, and the colors are just so beautiful, and it went perfectly well with this light, bright, sunny idea. I especially love the contrast between the wallpaper, or I guess all of the architecture, and then those beautiful trees. It really makes the green pop and looks so beautiful when they're swaying in the wind. I love that The Sims has that. That's honestly such a good feature. Like, seeing the trees move always gives me the feels. And actually the swaying of the trees, especially of that pink lilac willow tree that I've just put down, kind of inspired me to do this garden the way I did, because I wanted it to feel like a haven in the middle of the city. So I wanted this to feel like a town center, city center townhouse with all the benefits of living close to nature. So I wanted this to feel super tranquil and calming, and yeah, like a safe haven in the middle of a city that you could withdraw to with your family and watch the trees sway. The garden might have actually taken me the longest time in comparison to size. The stairs that I'm gonna try to put down to reach from that little... It's not actually a sunken area, I just want it to appear to be sunken. So those stairs really gave me a hard time. They just wouldn't work. There was some weird bug that didn't make any sense. I googled it, I saw some people had the same problem and there was basically no fix for it. So it looks a tiny bit off. Don't know why I'm telling you, because you probably wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't. But I still think the garden really benefits from that height difference and the stairs. So I would say it was worth it. And then I'm gonna put a stone path down, which took me ages, obviously, because I sized down every single stone and layered it next to the path. And that also looks really, really good, if I do say so myself. I love that it looks a little more 3D than the usual stone path that we have in game. So that's why I really like to do that. Although it is a lot of work, it always looks very nice in the end. And if you're wondering about those two huge chimneys that I've put on either side of the house, if it was possible, this obviously would have been in between two other townhouses. Like, it would have just been one townhouse in a whole row in a street. And because that wasn't possible, I put those huge chimneys there, and I do think they look very cute, so not complaining at all. I'm just gonna warn you that there's not a single fireplace, not a single fireplace in the entire 3 stories of this house, but 2 huge chimneys. So I'm just gonna say that they took those out because they didn't need them, and they are not as good for the environment, I think. And maybe they were a hazard to the children when they were little. And yeah, that's my explanation. Obviously, you could just put one in if you like fireplaces. I've never had a fireplace in my life. I do like them. I've never heard of someone who doesn't like fireplaces, so if that's you, I'd love to get to know you. Please tell me how that came to be. But I'm just not very used to seeing fireplaces. I think I've never lit a fireplace myself. So sometimes on vacation, I do have access to a fireplace, but then I know that you kind of have to know what you're doing to not burn down the entire house. So I keep my distance, but I do enjoy them when they are somewhere. Also, they just look very nice when they're not even lit. So I wouldn't mind having one, it's just not very common around here. Oh, what a big hint towards where I'm from. Okay, so please don't laugh at me and my lack of fireplace knowledge. Anyways, let's talk some stats. If you want to download this, you can get it from the gallery at honeybellabuilds, or you can download the trail files from my Patreon, which is where they are uploaded for free, obviously, if that's what you prefer. And this is a new crest. I have built all my townhouses so far in new crest, and they do fit very well together. Although I'm gonna have to admit that all the other ones that I've built, like everything in the street, is supposed to be Brooklyn or is inspired by Brooklyn. And this one is not, although, like, this does not look very New Yorky to me, but it would definitely be very nice if it was there, and I do think that it still, like, looks as if it belongs in this neighborhood. I would have loved to build this across from my Blackstone townhouse and my actual, like, reddish brownstone. They would have made a very nice group of houses to look at. Instead, I chose to do this right around the corner from that street because the lot sizes across from those other two houses are like, they're not weird, they just didn't fit my plan for this specific house, garden included and stuff. It wouldn't really have worked out. So I put it here, and I do think it looks very nice. And it's still in the same neighborhood, like the story could still make sense because all of those also have kids' bedrooms. So obviously my thought was that they were all friends and they had this advantage of getting to see each other all the time, and like randomly, as in you could just walk out your front door, walk up to literally the next front door and ring the bell, and your friend would potentially open the door. Like, that'd be so cool. I think I talked about this in one of the other townhouses, and that is something I would have really liked to have as a kid, because that's so cool. Like, whenever you're bored, you can just check in with your friend. Like, that's awesome. I know I'm a little bit too excited about this, but that is how I build in general. So this little area is more for the parents, I guess. So they have a place to chill while the children are running through this garden. It feels like with this winded pathway, it feels like it has some hidden spots, and it also spans from the front of the house through the area next to the house to the back of the house, and there's just lots of like little nooks and flowers, and I don't know, I just feel like it'd be a cute area to play catch or hide and seek, or I don't know, all those weird games that kids play where you make up things. Like, that's really cool though. I enjoyed doing that as a kid, just playing pretend, but I feel like this garden would be perfect for it. But I'm pretty sure you can't play any of those things in The Sims, can you? Don't tell me, it'll only make me sad. Please spare me. But now that they're doing updates for older packs, maybe they'll do Parenthood and put in a few cool new features. Well, we'll see. Anyways, we've got what we've got, and this is the porch terrace area. Not sure what to call it. I have put a water feature here, the water feature that came with the Jardine, because I figured watching water bubbling calmly and just flowing around as water does would be perfect for the atmosphere that I wanted for this entire place. And I'm glad I got to use it this way, because usually I put the fire feature, that little fire bowl that came with the Jardine, and looks kind of similar to the water feature. I usually put that in builds, and I think this is a nice change, however small. I actually can't believe I haven't talked about this yet, but I am now a partner of YouTube's monetization program. Pretty sure that's what it's called. So if you've seen ads before any of my videos lately, then that's why. And it's kind of really cool. It's crazy how far this channel has come in this almost 1 year that I've been doing this now. It simultaneously feels way longer and way shorter than that, and I'm really glad about every single one of you, and that you're still here, and that you talk to me sometimes, and that you watch these videos with me, and it's all really fun for me, so I hope it's fun for you too. And I'm glad you're here. Oh, this is a little trick. A trick that I did to make this a door, and I'm gonna use Felix's power outlets in a second to build something that resembles a lock, or more of a latch, I guess. Just something to make it not look like it's open all the time, or you basically just push those two glass panes together without any means to actually close the property off. Not that it's needed in The Sims, but I thought it looked a little off without it, so I put that there, and we have moved on to the interior. This is the it's not a living room because it's not actually secluded from the rest. This entire downstairs is very open plan except for the bathroom and the walk-in pantry. Little spoiler there. So this is a living area, I'd say, and I used the sectional sofa again. So I must really like it. I must really like it way more than I thought I would. I have also put columns and spandrels, I think throughout all 3 stories, to make it look like maybe when this was built, because this is supposed to be a historical house. So when it was built, the fanciest way to build your house was to do it with lots of rooms that would have lots of different purposes. And as you probably know, right now it's modern to have bigger rooms with fewer walls. So I thought maybe they had taken out some of the walls that were there originally, and those were basically the leftovers for structural reasons. And I do think it gave the interior some more character, so I'm glad I did it. And this is the kitchen. I love this backsplash that came with Felixandra's Florence set. I remember seeing that for the first time and getting so damn excited. And for that, I do use it too little, as I explained in one of my last voiceovers. Not entirely sure which one. I have this weird thing where I try to not use things I like too much, so I don't overuse them, which I'm hoping is very relatable. But I've talked about that for enough time. So that's definitely one of those objects where I suffer from that weird idea, although that literally doesn't make any sense. I'm gatekeeping backsplashes from myself. But I was especially happy with the combination of this marble swatch and then the mid-tone wooden swatch with the rest of this kitchen. I do think that looks really cool, and using anything from the Florence set just gives me such intense joy that this whole kitchen was an experience. Oh, and also I've used the organic curtains throughout this entire house, as I said when they came out, and I built the cloud home, the first apartment that I did. I'm pretty sure I said in that voiceover that I was gonna use them in basically every build from now on, and I did, and they're still epic. I'm so thankful for those, honestly. If you're wondering what I did right there with those flowers on a dining table, why is there two of those? I just wanted them to be a little bit more colorful than they already are, because a lot of this interior is very neutral, especially like I love those London walls so much. They're so gorgeous. Another object that I try to hide from myself. But now that I've used them in this build and it was just so nice, I just loved looking at them the entire time during building, I might just force myself to use them a little more for my own good. What was I saying? Oh, the interior is quite neutral, so I wanted more colorful flowers. So I've just picked one swatch, let that snap to the table, then picked another swatch and let that snap to the table in the same place, and then just turn it around so it looked like a fuller, more colorful bouquet, and it gives the room a pop of color, or 2 pops of color to be exact. So this is the walk-in pantry that I was kind of spoilering earlier. I did not know what to do with all this space at first, and then I had this idea and it came out so beautifully. So this is something that I would have kept from the original house, or the original layout of the house. And the sun is just so, like, the evening sun is so beautiful in this pantry. If this was my house, I would spend way too much time making coffee that I wouldn't even drink, because I don't drink coffee, but I would just love to spend some time in there. Maybe I should have put another armchair in here, but that's also a little weird. You just get like breadcrumbs and coffee drips all over the armchair. But yeah, this is just another place for the kids to play hide and seek in, and for Sims to make some coffee, because I did realize that I don't really put any additional like kitchen furniture, more like machines, kitchen gadgets. That's the word I was looking for. I don't really put a lot of those in my builds. Microwaves, the ice cream machine, the coffee maker. What else is there? The cupcake machine or cupcake maker, whatever it's called, doesn't really count if you ask me, because that's not a gadget, that's an atrocity. But yeah, I usually abstain from using them for the purpose of minimalism and aesthetics in general. So let me know if you do use them in your gameplay and if it's like worth it to put them in there. But yeah, as you know, I value form over function massively, and I do that in real life as well, in like my personal interior choices and clothing choices and all of that. But I absolutely respect people choosing differently, obviously. So we have moved on to the second floor, which is the children's floor. I'm gonna call it that in complete confidence because this entire floor is for the kids. So right now this is a shared area. I wanted them both to have their own their own rooms. So they have somewhere to retreat to, and there's a few activities in there that they might want to do like on their own, or sometimes I do think it's good for your creativity to work on your own, and sometimes it's good to work with other people. So they have this play area in this window bay kind of thingy, and then they have a little work in air quotes area where they could do homework together or do like little projects and arts and crafts and stuff. I don't know, that's what I like to do as a kid. So they have this area to do that together, and it looks really magical. So that's fun. And then they have this shared bathroom, which I also made sure to have a few more fun accents, like a terracotta floor. Not terracotta, that's not what it is. Terrazzo. That terrazzo floor. So they have those blue specks to be distracted by while they brush their teeth. This is the first bedroom that I've done. Both bedrooms are also kind of special, as in I've thought up characters for those kids and built the bedrooms accordingly, so they're not very universal, I don't think. But I'm not gonna tell you what I thought those characters or preferences and stuff were. You can definitely make them up your own, and I don't want to influence that. But both of those bedrooms do look like there's been a lot of care put into those, and I wanted this to look like a very happy family home where the kids feel very loved and they love each other. They love having this floor all to themselves, and they can try out whatever creative feat they want to try for themselves. So this bedroom has this arts and crafts table thingy, and it also has an easel, and the other bedroom has a piano, and they both have lots of books. I really loved books as a child, almost to an unhealthy amount. At some point, my mother had to make a rule that I wasn't allowed to read while eating and while like crossing the street and stuff. But yeah, I wanted them to have lots of books and lots of access to knowledge and beautiful stories. What I loved most about this first bedroom, though, is that the table is right in front of the window, and the view from that window is so cool. Across from this house is actually a house that I've built in March? No, in January or February, like very early this year. And it was one of my first builds that got some recognition, and it's the first ever build that I did with Felix's like historical architectural details. And yeah, it looks really nice from this bedroom window. So I love the thought of the kid sitting there and looking down at the street sometimes, or into the neighbor's garden while they were doing their arts and crafts project. I'm not entirely sure what kids actually do at those tables in The Sims, but I imagine it to be very fun. Don't burst my bubble. So this is the fun part in this second bedroom. I have not actually tried, but I'm pretty sure this is not accessible by your Sims because they can't get up this those stairs. They are just the understairs storage that came with the Kyoto set, which I absolutely love to use understairs. But in this case, it was the perfect choice to make it look like there was a somewhat safe option to get to this little chill out area in between the books, in the middle of this bookcase. I saw an inspiration picture that was kind of like this, and it just felt so magical and something I would have really loved as a child. So I wanted to put it in here, but there it really was inside of a bookcase, as in they had just left one shelf of the bookcase empty. It was one of those really big old ones, and a kid could comfortably fit in there, but you can't do that with the bookcases we have in The Sims. So I built this myself, made it custom, and put that in there. And in beds, like with beds, I know your Sims can get in there no matter the height, like they just spawn there basically. After they've done the animation. I'm not sure if it works with this bench, and I'm guessing it doesn't, but it still looks really cute and very fantastical somehow. So I love that for those kids that got to live in here. They're not real. Bella, remember? They're not real. This is the office. So this is the second for Europeans, third for Americans, and just the top floor in general. So this one is basically entirely for the caretakers of the children. Might they be their parents? Might they not? I don't care. I figured it made sense that how the way they raised those children was also the way they liked to live themselves. So this is a shared office for the both of them, and I imagined them to work in some sort of creative job, which is why they chose this wallpaper, which was lots of fun to do for me. And I do think this is an environment that would encourage some creativity. And yeah, so they like to work together here the same way the kids work together downstairs. And then they also have this balcony if they just want to sit in the sun, listen to the sounds of the street, which is what I like to do when I work, and catch some sun rays under this glass roof. So I really wanted this to be an environment that encouraged relaxation as well as productivity, and I would love to try and work in a space like this. I think this would work for creative meetings as well, like you could invite other people to this office or onto this balcony to have some work talks. I imagine they're professionals in an area that allows for that sort of thing, and I'd also think that they are a little higher up on the food chain of that field of work that they're in with this house. So this is their bathroom. Enough work talk, you know. This is their bathroom. I gave them one sink, just one sink, because they like to share. And if I got to choose my own dream bathroom, as in ensuite, particularly, then I would also have it be one sink, even if I lived there with my wonderful partner, just because it's less stuff to clean and I don't think I need my own. And I know you were already worried you were gonna get another build without any TV or means of getting the fun up for your Sims. But au contraire, this place has a TV. It is another frame that is part of a gallery wall. And I've wanted to do that for the longest time. Sorry, not sure if you could hear that doorbell that just disrupted my beautiful speech. And it's great. I love it being part of this gallery wall. It's almost invisible in the midst of all this art. But the rest of this room is not to be ignored either. I really got into my selling something mood there. Because I got to use all the newly released Berlin furniture by Felix. It's not that newly released anymore because the second part of the Berlin set is out already. But I have not used the open wardrobe or the bed yet. And it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I had lots of fun doing the video tour, especially with the light falling into this room. Beautiful. And then also, I had so hoped that Felix and Harry were gonna make some furniture that the dream home decorator clothes can snap to. And I hadn't realized that the Berlin wardrobe already does that. Like, for some reason I hadn't thought to check. And it's awesome. Like, it's so good. It's just so usable, you know? That's lovely. I love it. I love putting that in there. I love putting the shoes in there. It gave me everything I wanted. I mean, look at this. Ooh, damn. So good. Remember me struggling in my converted factory build with trying to get those clothes to stay anywhere besides the actual dream home decorator shelves, which are ugly, sorry to say it. Video's almost over. I hope you will enjoy the video tour. Thank you so much for spending these 40 minutes of your day with me, and I love you. Bye!